on the spacewalk plan for tomorrow calls for Steve Bowen and Al Drew to install some small extensions on the starboard end of these tracks that will permit the mobile transporter with the SETA cart attached to move just a little further out onto the truss to support additional work activities.
We're filling this bag with what we call technical water. It's basically water that you're not going to use to drink. We call it technical water. And I'm going to go transfer it over to the space station.
How many bags do you have to fill today?
Just this one, well, this one CWC, and then we're actually going to do PWRs, which is a bag that we use for filling for EVAs for the water that we use in the seats.
Okay, how many bags are you going to fill the whole mission?
That's a good question. Probably around 20 when it all lines up, but you know, it changes real time in flight.
What you doing?
This is your flight day highlights. What are you up to today?
I'm a transfer and fool.
Delivering the crew care package.
Delivering the crew care package, snackage.
Coffee cakes. Hey, Katie.
Yes. Oh, she's in the couple.
So that's your day today?
A little robotics this morning. Did the OBSS handover and doing transfer and learning how much I don't know about location codes. We're getting there.
I'm not doing anything.
Yes, you are, Mike. Tell us what you've done today. So
Well, let's see. I got up, I flew through this magnificent station, and then I got to remove the OBSS from the payload bay, twirl it around, and hand it off to the shuttle arm so the shuttle guys can, that's us now, use it to look around. And then I did the activation checkout of the new tonometer with our eye simulators, and now I get to go exercise. Mostly I'm just enjoying being back on this magnificent stack of modules.
all right, have a
What
good day.
more could you ask?
And 55%.
Like just wait, butt it up against the corner, and Nicole sits back.
Okay, Nicole,
Okay,
describe
here we
your
are.
day.
All right, can you see the cupola?
Yes, they can.
All right, so this is a beautiful place to work from. You'll see we're pointing towards the Earth, just beautiful panoramic windows, and very fortunately we have the robotics workstation set up in here so that we can work with both the station arm and then in partnership with the guys over on the shuttle who have the shuttle robotic arm. And today Mike and I did some work moving the big shuttle boom out and around and handing it off to the shuttle arm. And then later, Katie and I got to do a task that we call a walk-off, which is where we take one end of the arm, put it on a place on the station, take the other end off, and now the base and the tip are exchanged. So basically, this arm is very cool because you can move it all over the space station to different spots, and it gives you different access to do all kinds of work across the space station.
Great, thanks.
Very fun.
Okay, so this is lunchtime.
Yep.
Flight day 4. And we're eating space station food, so Commander Lindsay is going through the tins.
Snacks.
Just the snacks.
Snacks.
I think Al got his out of the pantry.
Yes.
Everybody else is over here rifling through food.
Brown rice, which is clearly graduate course level food.
Pantry food kind of roughly translates into
Nominal
treasure hunt.
tortilla.
Okay, Al.
Standard fare.
What kind of tortilla?
Nominal. Standard fare.
Standard.
Standard fare.
What's an off-nominal tortilla?
One moldy,
Square.
like hard.
Oh, okay.
These ones are good. That wasn't the word I was expecting.
All right, Al, tell us about your morning.
This morning I got to go and transfer one of the PCS laptops out of the Japanese module, install in the flight deck so we can see data from the space station. All that went okay until it was time to plug in the data.
So it all worked good except for the actually getting it to work part.
Well, first off, I had to find the right data card. That was a bit of a treasure hunt. And once I had the card located and put in the right spot, the data still wouldn't flow. And so we did a little bit of a wiring, spark chasing, and found out that it was plumbed to the wrong plug up on the shuttle panel. So on the right plug, wrong panel. So once we got that, we had the right card and the right plug, everything flowed just fine.
Amazing.
Now we have data.
Good. So here we have B. Alvin Drew and Steve Bowen, uncharacteristically speechless. Actually, they can't talk because they're wearing masks. And the reason they're wearing masks is because they're terribly comfortable. And they're starting to pre-breathe oxygen to wash the nitrogen out of their bodies, getting ready for their spacewalk tomorrow. In about a half hour, we're going to shut the door here, and they're going to depress down to about 10.2 psi, roughly about 10,000 feet in altitude. And they'll spend the night there. And we'll let them out for a short time in the morning to hit the bathroom and clean up a little bit, and then we'll go back in here, and they'll be on masks for that. And once they get back in here, we'll get them all dressed up in their spacesuits and ready to go out the door. And our commander has given them all sorts of words of encouragement, and also told them if they do a bad job, he won't let them back in. So with that, I think we are ready for spacewalk ops tomorrow. Wave to the nice people. All right, guys, thanks.
That again was a look at the highlights from the STS-133 cruise flight day 4. As you saw, it ended with the mission specialist Steve Bowen and Alvin Drew inside the Quest airlock wearing air masks as they prepared for the partial depressure